Hi guys, and welcome back to episode 10 of the Random Road to Glory. So, since this is episode 10, sort of a milestone episode, I'm going to do something a bit different this episode. So, instead of doing the top 3 things that you guys wanted, or 3 random things you guys wanted, I'm going to do 5 random teams instead. Just because there were a few teams that, I hadn't got involved, and I thought, why not get them involved in episode 10? So we'll start off with the Pats here. We get Patrick Chung. I mean, he's a phenomenal strong safety. Bit gutted we have to get rid of Reed, but I'm sure he'll do just as good a job because his stats are very similar, to be honest. They're a very similar card. The Jags here have been requested in every episode by one of you guys as well. Get Reynolds, so unfortunately not one of the big boys, but, we're still getting a Jags player in for you guys. And we get Matt Ryan from the Falcons. Gonna have to get rid of old reliable Peyton Manning. Hasn't done anything wrong this series, but we're going to it's not an upgrade or a downgrade, it's sort of a similar playing field with Matt Ryan there. Stephon Diggs as well, probably one of the best slot receivers in the game for me anyway. He's so small and nippy and quick, and those slant routes, he's going to beat man coverage on them 90% of the time. And then the 49ers here, I decided since we already got a quarterback in Matt Ryan 2 picks ago, I'm going to go with Acre here instead of Kaepernick or Steve Young. Sorry if you guys don't like that, but I might pick one of those guys up a bit later on down the road. I just didn't see the point in picking up 2 different quarterbacks in the same episode because it's pretty much just a wasted pick because we'll only use one of them for the game. But this is the team here as it stands. Going to be changing the guys around. So we got Matt Ryan in. See the stats? He's very similar to Peyton Manning. He's got a little bit less throw short, bit more throw deep, bit less play action, and a bit more play action, a tiny bit less throw on the run. It's very similar, pretty much a pocket passer as well, but he's got a little bit more speed, which hopefully, we can use to our advantage. I'm going to get rid of Joe Hayden here. I like Cromartie, so I'm going to get rid of Hayden, and we've only just got Smith in as well, so we're going to go with Acre there at the number 3 cornerback slot. Obviously, he's a bit of a downgrade on Hayden, but hopefully, he'll be a hidden gem. I mean, stats-wise, he's a downgrade, but, some players just play better than their stats. So, Tyler Eifert is a huge example of that. The gold card, the 80-rated card, just plays ridiculously well. Reynolds in there as left outside linebacker. Going to get rid of CJ Mosley, I think. Between him and Kirksey, I prefer Kirksey since I go coverage with my linebackers a lot. And Kirksey's probably one of the best coverage linebackers that I've used. Him and Kuechly together. Perfect combination. I'm so lucky to actually have managed to get both of them in the team. Patrick Chung there as well. Very, very similar to Berry, but unfortunately we're going to have to get rid of Berry, even though he's been one of the MVPs of the series up to this point. Hopefully Patrick Chung will step up because he has some big shoes to fill when it comes to that department. And Martavius Bryant, obviously we're going to put Stephon Diggs in his place. So that's the 5 upgrades. Hopefully all you guys who have picked teams so far have had your team picked. I know I haven't managed to pick every team, but rest assured they'll be in the series at some point. But if you guys have enjoyed the video up to this point, as per usual, smash a like on the like button. Let's try and get over 10 likes for episode 10. Comment down below on the filters you want me to use next episode. Next episode I'll be going back to the filters instead of the teams, so go with a filter this time. And subscribe if you are new. But going in with the Saints uniform this game, mixing up the uniforms every now and again just to make the series totally random, as you guys know. I'm coming up against this guy here. He was probably one of the saltiest players I've ever played. But in the editing, I would have cut out all the time wasting he did, all the pausing he done. He wasted all 5 pauses. He was just one of the saltiest players I've ever seen. And you'll see with the plays that he picks later in the game how salty he actually got at some points. But he's playing well to start with. He's doing plays that I didn't expect. You very rarely see a read option. And Tim Tebow as well. I think he had the draft champions, Tim Tebow. So he's reasonably fast. He's pretty good for a read option since he's one of the least likely quarterbacks to fumble the ball. But we force him to 4th and 3rd here. As you can see, he had a few people who were reasonably open there. And Mike Mitchell, look at this again. That's definitely an interception. Both feet are down, but the game doesn't give it. It was 4th down anyway, so I'm just going to accept it because we end up being further up the field anyway. But I'm going to count that as another interception for Mike Mitchell to his record, since I think he's got 100% interception rate in games he's played so far. Drag route here. Unfortunately, we run straight out of bounds. He was already, running too fast in one direction. Couldn't get stay in bounds there. And this guy, perfect throw from Matt Ryan there. He thought I was going to bullet pass it. I just launch it over the top. Nice little floater pass, and we're working our way down the field. He was using over the middle. So what am I going to do? I'm going to send two guys over the middle. He's going to follow the first route. Second route, wide open there. And that's probably one of the easiest passes Matt Ryan's going to have to make in his career on this series. And we're just going to QB sneak it in with Matt Ryan. So all he's done so far, 3 perfect passes and got a touchdown himself. So you can't fault that. And this guy instantly decided, I've had enough of this. I'm just going to go Hail Mary and hope for the best. So, as you can see, he's going to run it for this play. But he's in the Hail Mary formation. So I'm just going to put everyone deep just so he hopefully can't get that big play. And luckily for us, we managed to get a sack. He's going to go for it on 4th and 18. So pretty risky, pretty stupid in my opinion to go for it on 4th and 18 when he hadn't got any big conversions up to this point. But all he's going to do, I'm pretty sure, lob it deep. So I'm just going to make sure he can't roll out to the right-hand side. As you can see, he launches it deep. Tim Tebow does a ridiculously bad overthrow there. And we managed to stop him and get our drive on the go. So, guys know exactly where I'm going with that play. Delaney Walker picking up all the yards we needed. And it's 3rd and goal here. And I pretty much have to pass it. I mean, I'm either going to go with a screen pass or a slant pass or something like that. And one of them will be open on this slant. I've sent everyone. And Hakeem Nicks always coming up clutch when it matters in the series. Had him right from the start. And he hasn't put a foot wrong. I mean, I can't blame him for anything that's gone wrong this series up to this point. And as you can see, once again, he's going back to the Hail Mary. I'm just going to put everyone deep. And luckily for us, that is exactly why we have Sean Smith in the team. He's a lockdown corner. I mean, he's not going to get that many interceptions, but he's going to lock everything up, which is what he did there, and that's exactly what we needed him to do, just to stop the deep ball with the overpowered spec catch that's in the game at the moment. And as you can see, he's going to roll out here. I didn't counteract it. He juked me on the inside and picked up an extra, 15, 20 yards for Tebow there than what he actually should have. Really annoying when something like that happens. He's obviously just trolling at this point, and there's not much you can do about it too much. Yeah, to be honest, in this year's Madden. As you can see, he's going to launch it deep here. Double coverage. I think I picked the perfect play to defend that. And he just came down with it. So, I send a few guys deep here. And hope for the same will happen to me. All my receivers decide to run away from the ball. Makes no sense to me what happened there. As you can see, all my receivers literally just decided, we're not going to catch that. We're going to screw you over. And give this guy a chance to get back into the game. So I literally started throwing the game away here. But Antonio Cromartie there comes up big for us. I mean, if my opponent caught that, probably would have gone to an even game. Because everything deep, he was winning. My corners or my safeties just weren't winning it. And you'll see that as the game goes on. But I'm just going to try and get the run game going. And I find him here. Fullback dive. I find him in the totally wrong defensive formation. So I'm going to try and abuse that. And he knew at this point he was in the wrong formation. So he's going to try and gamble that I'm going to run it. Had a few guys open there. I'm just going to take the nice easy pass that's definitely not going to get intercepted. Take no risks and just keep calling the hurry up offense on. He's only got 3 linemen and I'm going with a fullback dive. So he either has to blitz both his linebackers in the middle to stop it, or I'm going to get yards. And he has to gamble on whether I'm going to go with a fullback dive again or I'm going to pass it. So last time when something like this happened, I went with a pass. This time I'm going to try and fake him out and go with a dive again. And as you can see, it ends up working pretty well. I mean, we get 7, 8 yards from that. And I'm going to keep driving upfield. I'm getting towards the point where I'm not going to call hurry up again. I'm just going to try and get a few more yards, get the first down, and then change play to something he won't expect. But at this point, and I can probably squeeze one more hurry up in there, 3rd and 4. He probably thinks I'm not going to run it again. Run it so many times in a row up to this point, and he doesn't gamble on the run. As you can see, I get a nice first down with Okoye. The only reason I was doing that is because I had Okoye as well, and I knew that Okoye wasn't going to fumble it, but I didn't want to risk it from that point on, because when they lower their stamina, they might fumble it. And we change play up. He doesn't expect it. Delaney Walker's going to get in for a nice touchdown. And I mean, we've had him for 2 games now. Well, 1.5 games up to this point, and he's got about 4 or 5 touchdowns. Phenomenal pickup. Really lucky for us to get something like that. Unlucky there we didn't get the interception. I mean, as you can see, this guy's just bombing it deep and hoping. And the annoying thing about that with this year's Madden, especially this point in Madden, where there's so many cards who have 95 plus spec catch, it's going to work for him every now and again. As you can see there, that catch shouldn't be allowed. I mean, if you see that in real life, breaking that up is ridiculously easy. They're never going to catch it like that one-handed with pressure anyway, and even if they thought about it, it'd be broken up. And I'm not sure how he managed to get a touchdown there, running through 4 of my guys with his tight end, but he did manage to, and I really didn't want to lose to this guy, just because of the way he was playing. If they're just going to do that sort of long throw spec catch thing, it's really unskilled, I think, and it just takes the fun out of the game. I mean, there's those type of players who just run the same play all game, and he was one of those guys. And I don't like coming up against guys like that because I can't imagine doing that. I just think it'd be really boring to play game after game running the same plays. But as you can see, Bo Jackson getting sticky with it. I'm just going to try and run into the end zone. Getting a bit cocky there, shouldn't have, because we end up going down to the 1. But on the plus side, it gives us another minute to waste on the clock. All I needed to do was score, and the game was over. So I would have taken a field goal, but we just managed to get in because Bo Jackson's so overpowered in this game. He just shrugs off tackles left, right and centre, does Bo Jackson. Love his card, and I'm really hoping we don't actually get rid of it anytime soon, because there aren't many running backs that are better than him in the game for a reasonable price anyway. I mean, there's a lot of really, really good running backs, you know, the golden ticket ones for a high rated price. But all the other ones, I think he's the best out of the other bunch, personally, out of the ones I've used. I mean, I'd be happy. I was hoping when we got the Vikings we get Adrian Peterson or something, maybe to mix it up from Bo Jackson, but I'm more than happy keeping him in the team. But my guy here, as you can see, when he wasn't running Hail Mary constantly, he was a fairly decent player. Like, he knew how to get into the end zone and he knew how to score. But just for, you know, it's his own fault for just being really salty at times and ruining the game, I think, for him. And it made the game a lot easier for me than it should have. And you can see how salty he was at this point. You know, when someone does this and they just I mean, this was his second flag. They've given up and they're trying to ruin the game for you and get a DC and all that. But I'm just going to kneel for the win, just to rub it in a little bit more to him that I managed to beat him. And that's the win for us. Still unbeaten in the series, 10 episodes in. And I hope you guys have enjoyed the video up to this point and the series up to this point. Let me know down below also if you are enjoying the series, because I'm loving making this series. There's so many players that I never would have thought to use, like Sean Smith, for example. I didn't even know he had a movers card until this happened, and I'm absolutely loving using him. So hopefully you guys are enjoying seeing different players in the series as well. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for another video.